Hello everyone, this is the CRT Productions, and well, as most of us already know, buying and selling on eBay doesn't always make a whole lot of sense. And that's why today I'm going to be showing you one such example. I recently bought 9 of these HP 6930p laptops in what appears to be brand new condition on eBay, and the seller gave me no indication that that was the case. So the seller on eBay was selling these in lots of 3 for $120 each, plus a little bit of shipping. And what they failed to mention in the description was that they include the original power adapter along with the original documentation and driver CDs and Windows reinstall CDs, and the fact, again, that they're brand new, at least from what I could tell. The buttons, the rubber buttons on the mouse are a little bit melted, which does happen with these laptops over time, but this thing looks like it's brand new. The keyboard certainly has no wear on it at all, and the buttons, again, a little bit of melting, but they don't look like they were ever used by anyone, and otherwise they're in perfect cosmetic condition. They're still in these bags with the HP seal on them. The seal had been broken, but yeah, and the seller also said that they were untested, and that they actually specifically said in the description that these things included no additional hardware, so it's just the laptop by itself. That's not true. Power cable still bundled up, and the power supply in its bag, never used before. The goal of this video is to see if I can get Windows installed on these things. The original Windows Vista sticker on these indicates that we will be installing Windows Vista Business, as well as the certificate of authenticity on the bottom of each one. And I have powered these on. They all function just as you'd expect. And what else to install them on but an old, period appropriate, so I always like to say, SSD. Although I think these are SATA 3. These are SATA 3 drives. But they are pretty old. So first and foremost, I've got to say these are pretty nifty little systems. You can hear rattling around in there. Those are the screws for the hard drive. They're very nice to include that, as well as the 3D drive guard system in there, which is a fancy way of saying the hard drive caddy. But these are pretty cool systems. They each have 4 gigabytes of RAM. They do have dedicated ATI graphics. I have installed Windows on one of them and confirmed that everything does work. I have not installed Windows on all of them yet, but I might do another update video if there's enough interest after I have everything set up and working, and possibly once I have sold some of these. It has wireless functionality, although I don't think these have Bluetooth. They could be configured with it, but I don't think these particular models have it. These all appear to be from the same place, all configured the same. They're all pretty much exactly the same. They didn't include batteries, but I have gotten some new batteries. Batteries for these things are dirt cheap. I think paid like $12 each for these things. Got batteries for all of them. It's got a SIM slot there below the battery, if you can see that. There it is, SIM slot. So you could have used LTE, not LTE, 3G data, not LTE. But yeah, it's a full-size SIM slot. So old school 2008 stuff, but that would have been pretty cool back in the day. Unfortunately, we can't use that anymore, but it would be very cool if we could. Has a card reader there. It's just SD and multimedia card. Got the little push button on the front. Not quite as nice as some of the larger HP models. This one's a little bit stiff. Kind of an awkward button. It kind of protrudes out on the front there, but it works just fine, and give you a nice close-up of those melty, rubbery mouse buttons there. There they are. That's the only flaw with these, but again, that happens over time with these things anyway. So these are old, despite them being, appearing to be, at least in new old stock condition. That'll still happen over time. Got the Got the nipple there, it's in perfect shape. Keyboard, no wear at all. No signs of wear on the screen. A couple of fingerprints from me, but there it is. And these things have a keyboard light, which I will demonstrate better once it's powered on. So here's one that I've set up and working with the battery installed. There's the ATI Catalyst workstation. I just put Vista on this one. Haven't activated or anything yet, but it does have a Mobility Radeon HD 3450 graphics card, which is actually not terrible. If you're in the Discord server, you would have seen some of my preliminary testing on one of these systems with Windows XP. I used the disks that these included, which strangely they included Windows XP reinstallation disks, even though they have Windows Vista stickers on them. So a little bit of a mismatch there of technological errors. These were in that awkward little time period where Windows XP was still very relevant, obviously. It was for many years to come after this, but 2008, Windows Vista was out, and if you were going to buy a really expensive business notebook like this, you'd want the latest and greatest, so most people probably wanted Windows Vista Business for their business notebook. It was the business at the time, but these things have a 1280 by 800 display, 60 Hertz refresh rate, of course, and this Catalyst Control Center has a slew of options that you can set up. All sorts of color correction, 3D settings, anti-aliasing, adaptive anti-aliasing. You can just see a little demo there. It's playing on the screen. Does it have anisotropic filtering? How do you pronounce that? I don't know. Leave a comment and let me know how you pronounce it. Anisotropic filtering, Catalyst AI. It actually has AI capabilities. Let me see if it gives a description. It doesn't really give a description of what that is, but it has Catalyst AI. You can turn it to advanced, adjust the level of the video driver optimization. So it has AI optimization in 2008. A little ahead of its time there. A little bit fancy for the HD 3450, but that was very cool stuff to have built into your notebook at the time. You know, as far as usefulness is concerned, I'm not so sure about that, but it would have been cool to say, hey, what my HP notebook can do. But I just installed this on a hard drive that I happen to have laying around. We're going to go ahead and get Vista installed on this thing using this SSD here. Alright, little SSD, you don't have to worry anymore. You're in the HP 3D drive guard now. So we can go ahead and put you in here. There you go. Screw you down and we'll be ready to listen to some motorcycles go by. Yeah. So we'll go through the motions of installing all Vista Business here once more on these systems, and I'll show you a few of the things that were included with these that make me believe further that they're new old stock. So some of the things that were, unbeknownst to me, included in the eBay, not auction, but listing. It's a bug flying around my microphone. Hopefully you can't hear that. The Windows XP Professional Service Pack 2 operating system. Service Pack 3, I believe, was introduced in 2008, so could have been included with this, but I guess this was manufactured just before that, so just got Service Pack 2, and then a driver recovery DVD, which only works with Windows XP. I installed it on XP and it worked perfectly, installed every driver. The laptop had full functionality. On Vista, it gives you an error, says nope, can't do that. So, however, I will make a follow-up to this in the form of a YouTube short proclaiming my great level of gratitude towards HP for their excellent legacy driver support. They still have drivers for very old computers, much older than these even. 2008 is pretty old at this point, I think we can agree, but they have laptops and desktop computers much older than that, still supported on their driver website, so thank you HP, not sponsored. But in addition to those discs, we got the Worldwide Limited Warranty and Technical Support book here. Doesn't smell like it was ever read before. General terms, HP Hardware Limited Warranty gives you customer express limited warranty rights from HP the manufacturer. Very boring stuff, and it's in several different languages. Actually, it looks like it's just in English and French, so I guess it was sold in parts of Canada as well. We got the Business Notebook Accessories pamphlet, which is still in this much larger than it needs to be plastic bag. Where are we at here? We're on our Windows Vista screen. We're going to see if it can recognize my SSD in just a moment. Here's our accessories, and this is in a very foreign language, Japanese, Chinese. Okay, so this opens up like a big poster, and we've got actually some pretty boring stuff, really fancy like car power adapter and some bags and stuff. Not terribly interesting stuff there, but there it is. The computer is personal again. So we're copying files now on Vista, and we've got a few different things in here. Notebook Essentials. What is Notebook Essentials? Unpack the box. Computer color, features, and options may vary by computer model. Illustrations may look slightly different from your computer. Well, it's in black and white, so I guess we don't have to worry about the color so much. Connect computer to external power, open the computer, turn on the computer, and set up the software. That's what we plan to do today. And then we pretty much have this thing that shows you how to navigate Windows Vista, even though these things include Windows XP Service Pack 2 disks. It tells you how to turn off the computer. In fact, it includes an entire page dedicated to how to turn off your computer. Entire page there. Save your work, close all programs, click Start, click the arrow next to the lock button, and click Shut Down. Important in-memory information. A minimum of 1 GB system memory is recommended for Windows Vista. Optimal performance, 2 GB. Okay, so now it's throwing me a bit of a curveball here. HP notebook PCs and Microsoft Windows 7. Why is this included? I don't know. Apparently these were still being sold at the time that Windows 7 was released, and they included an entire booklet in every language known to man. This is all the information right here. That's the English information, and then all the rest of it is in these languages, including Hebrew. Your HP notebook computer may be compatible with Windows 7, the next generation operating system from Microsoft. For information regarding your eligibility and upgrade options, see the HP website. Of course, I am aware that these things would probably run Windows 11 just fine with the TPM requirements removed. However, there's recently been some news that Microsoft's kind of finally sort of making a lightweight effort to stop people from removing that requirement from the operating system, but that shows that they're probably in the future going to introduce even more restrictions on that. So who knows? Windows 11, one thing's for certain about it, is going to be a flop, just like my friend here, but we're still using it, so I can't really talk trash about Windows 11 and compare it to the operating system that I am currently installing. So let me just shut my mouth and let Windows Vista do the talking. Well, my friends, as much as I like to complain about the motorcycles going up and down the road, I've decided to move on to a bit more quiet space here in the air conditioning. So we're going to do the rest of our video here, and as you can see, Vista is set up perfectly, working and running YouTube here. course, we get an ad for Clean My Mac. There it is, full screen, all good. Adjust the screen brightness up a little bit there. And the screen doesn't get terribly bright on these laptops, but it's acceptable, especially with the matte surface of the display rather than a glossy display. And it looks like we've got the AI already enabled, so let's go ahead and find a game that will take advantage of these advanced capabilities here. Ah yes, here's a good one on our HD 3450. Set it to the maximum resolution, of course. Full scene anti-aliasing. Let's see how this goes. Windows Vista installed, relatively drama-free, very quickly on the SSD, of course. And the drivers are always a little bit of a different story. There's always like 4 different ones for any given piece of hardware, especially the Wi-Fi. There are 4 different ones available for this laptop. Some of them do something, some of them don't, but you know, just install all of them just in case. And Wi-Fi, of course, as I demonstrated, is working. Able to go to YouTube just fine. The Intel Core 2 Duo P8600 still performs relatively well these days. But I got all of that stuff generously provided by HP still on their website installed onto the system here. And here's the little light. I think I promised that I would show that later on, but there it is. It's a little LED, white LED light that pops out and illuminates your keyboards. It's mildly effective, but in complete darkness, of course, it does something better than nothing. So let's go ahead and give some gaming a try here. Alright, so it appears that we are gaming now, and well, I can't say I've ever had a better experience in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, this is as best it's gonna get right here. That's a good move right there. There you go. About as graphically demanding as it gets right here. This game is technically 6 years newer than this laptop, so you know, hey, not. If we just take a closer look as the motorcycles still continue to wreak havoc on my existence. There it is, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Those smooth edges, the anti-aliasing. We got it all here. Perfect clarity. Well, it looks like this old game will work on here as well. This is Jack in a Castle. It's another game by Nemley, the creator of the Coffin game, the infamous Coffin game. Looks like this will work just fine. It's just a visual novel type game, I guess you'd say. That's probably the extent of the gaming you can probably expect to do on here, except for really ancient games from the mid-2000s and earlier. Especially considering the previous game pretty much pushes the limits of this thing's graphics card, so yeah, that's kind of saying a lot right there. But as far as the setup procedures are concerned and the general performance of this thing, again, going to YouTube and such, you know, works just fine. Got it set up in a little over an hour, I would say, and yeah, went pretty smoothly. And the laptop, as I've mentioned, is very nice to use. Pretty small, pretty lightweight as far as things back then were concerned. But that's about it right there. The These things are built pretty darn solid, and they are a joy to use, I must say. Can't stop my generic volume. Well, that's too bad, because it's stopping today. I thank you for watching this video, and as I shut this thing down, I'll remind you to join the Discord server if you'd like to see projects like this happening in real time. And until next time, stay safe out there.